We're approaching the holidays, and if you're struggling with food noise, guilt, anxiety, even those thoughts that say, hey, let's just go nuts over the holidays and we'll sort it out in January, I get it. I spent 15 years of my life with every significant occasion, holidays, birthdays, whatever, just being dominated by thoughts about food, anxiety about what I should be eating, and planning what I was going to do to make up for whatever was happening on that holiday or special event. It made it really hard to enjoy things. It was hard to enjoy birthdays. It was hard to enjoy holidays with so much space being taken up by all this noise and crap surrounding food and what I was going to do to make up for my choices the moment I got back to my real life, or the moment I got back on plan, or whatever I was calling it at the time. But if you're struggling with binge eating, the holidays and special occasions can be particularly difficult. The first instance where I ever spent a significant period of time on a really restrictive diet led to a Christmas that was absolute carnage with food, like nothing I'd ever experienced. I ate to the point where I could barely see. And you know what? It wasn't fun. It wasn't like that was a nice experience. It wasn't the kind of just good time that made you go, yeah, I'd like to do that again. So what do we do about this? How do we avoid coming to that place where we're thinking, I overate, I binged, now I'm just consumed with guilt and anxiety, and I'm distracted by what I'm gonna eat next, and I'm not even enjoying the holiday anymore? That's what you and I and my terrible jumper are gonna be talking about today. Because you deserve to have a good time on the holidays, right? You deserve a breather, you deserve to relax. I'm going to share with you a few really actionable practical steps, as well as what I believe to be one of the most important mindset shifts that we can make when navigating special occasions that involve food. So before we get into the meaty stuff, just remember this one thing, right? If you don't think about anything else from this video ever again, when it comes to special occasions that involve food, please just remember this one thing. Don't arrive wherever you're going absolutely starving because you're trying to save up for lunch or dinner. Eat regular meals and snacks and arrive wherever you're going without the burden of extreme hunger to deal with. But when it comes to some deeper stuff around food and the holidays, this is going to seem unrelated for a second, but I promise it's going to make sense. Anxiety is something that I've dealt with pretty much forever. And I used to make myself extremely stressed and unhappy by expecting that a good day meant total happiness, total perfection, the total absence of any difficult feelings. So rather than try to tell you how to have the most perfect holiday season and how to get it just right and how to never experience a hard feeling ever again, my message for you today is a bit different. Practice leaning into the idea that part of us can be experiencing some difficult feelings while we still have a really good day. Part of you can feel challenged and imperfect while another part of you looks across the room at someone you love and thinks how amazing it is to be sharing this moment with them. Part of you can be experiencing a difficult feeling, and we can make space for that without trying to push it away or deny it, while another part of you experiences happiness and gratitude and joy and all these other different things. And I know this is kind of a hard message sometimes to actually take in, and there is no way I'd be sitting here telling you this if it wasn't something that I was putting into practice every single day. I know the idea that these difficult feelings are going to exist and there's nothing to make them go away might be a little less sexy and a little less attractive than the idea that if we get things just right, we can make these feelings go away. But the reality of being human, I think, is that we have mixed emotions almost all the time. It is our attempts to whitewash our emotions and to only feel good feelings that leads to quite a bit of trouble. Now, this doesn't mean if you're experiencing severe, debilitating anxiety and distress, I'm telling you to just, make some space for that. No, that's different. That starts to become medical territory. And I want to be sensitive about the fact that the holidays are actually a really rough time for a whole bunch of people. Not everyone gets to spend time with people they love, and there are often some really big stresses floating around. But if you're in the company of some special people, feeling guilty and despairing because the day isn't going in the way that you hoped, with regards to food, remember, Shooting for perfection, shooting for the perfect day, actually makes things so much harder than they need to be. The pressure that puts on you is insane. So I want to encourage you to allow for some challenging moments without letting those moments take up more space than they deserve, without allowing those moments that are less than perfect to mean anything about you. It's the holidays. Will you experience some challenging moments with food? Most likely. But does that make you worth less as a person or less deserving of an enjoyable day with people you love? No. So over the holidays, remember, don't arrive hungry. Hungry people don't make smart decisions. Eat slowly. Give yourself a chance to actually enjoy what you're eating. Set reasonable expectations. Yeah, the holidays will probably feel challenging at some points, but experiencing some challenges and having a good time can exist in the same space if we don't build those challenges up in our minds to mean more about us than they should. And if you do find yourself overeating or binge eating or going overboard, don't jump into a spiral about all the things that you're going to need to do to fix it. Do your best to treat yourself well and put your love and attention somewhere meaningful. So thanks for joining me here at Strong Not Starving this year. I'll see you in January.